D2 Word Life here with King Ass Riptidz himself.
I'm an ass man.
More like
I'm an ass man.
more like you're an asshole, but
And D2's a bulge man.
nah. And the reason why I'm calling him King Ass is because, or King Asshole, is this motherfucker that I do these freaking podcasts with, review podcasts with, decided that this week we are going to be reviewing the 1999 King of the Ring, which is regarded by a lot of people as one of the worst King of the Ring events.
I liked it, actually. It was better than 95.
WrestleMania 27 was better than King of the Ring 95, and that had the distinction of having that Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole match, so bite me.
Well, you also thought that Heroes of Wrestling was better than 95.
That's a dumpster fire. They're both equally shit. But since we're on the subject, which show do you think is worse, King of the Ring 95 or Heroes of Wrestling?
Heroes of Wrestling.
Probably not by much. But, King of the Ring 99, this event took place on June 27th, 1999, in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex, with an attendance of 20,108 fans who probably regretted being there. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
And the commentators for this event was Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. The ring announcer was Howard Finkel. Now, got to do some shout-outs before we even get to this. Shout-outs. There was a dark match that took place before even the Sunday Night Heat portion went on air, and that was Meat, a.k.a. Sean Stasiak, defeating Kurt Angle, and this was 5 months before Kurt Angle's TV debut. Okay, can you imagine Sean Stasiak, of all people, defeating the Olympian Kurt Angle nowadays? No, right?
Nah.
And then we get to the Sunday Night Heat matches, which saw Edge and Christian battle the Hardy Boys in a no contest, which would result in them facing each other on the pay-per-view. And then we had Mideon and Viscera defeat the Big Boss Man in a handicap match. I know you were disappointed that Viscera wasn't a participant in this King of the Ring 99 tournament on this show. I mean, you wanted him to become a two-time King of the Ring, didn't you?
No, I did not. I was happy I did not see fucking Viscera.
Considering we all know Viscera was your favorite King of the Ring winner as Mabel.
It was not.
I mean, you were the one
who was your favorite.
I mean, you were the one who insisted on watching and reviewing King of the Ring 95 last year.
No, that was you. Boy, I have one more event that will make you dread trying to fuck with me.
You already made me watch Heroes of Wrestling, so nothing more you can do can scare me.
Oh, actually, I have a couple of events that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, then also on Heat, we saw Prince Albert defeat Val Venus. So basically, we had a certain, in real life terms, we had a certain piercing, don't look it up, defeat a porn star. Figure that one out, right? And we all know you want to get a Prince Albert. That shit would freaking hurt, though. Hell no.
No, it don't.
And of course, the main event of the Sunday Night Heat was Shamrock defeating Shane McMahon by DQ, by disqualification, which really wasn't even a match. It was more of an angle to bust up Shamrock's ribs before the King of the Ring matches. Right?
No.
So yeah, shout out to those. So now, here we go. We see the opening video package hyping up the King of the Ring event, plus the main event match, mostly, which was the handicap ladder match. More on that later. And then we get to the opening pyro, and then right away we get to the first match of the night, which was a King of the Ring quarterfinal match between Hardcore Holly and X-Pac.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, these King of the Ring matches were short in length, so don't expect any 5-star ratings from me for any of these matches, really. Right?
Uh,
So yeah, both men come out. Both men make their entrances. X-Pac got the more positive cheers from the crowd, considering he was a face going into this, even though Hardcore Holly could hold his own, right? Despite the crowd response, but he was more known for hardcore matches at this point, right?
Despite, you mean despite?
Despite despite the Psycho Sid wasn't even in the company at this time, and I'm already speaking Sid English. But then again, that's every freaking dang podcast we do. Anyway, this short match mostly consisted of headlocks, shoulder blocks, leapfrogs up back and forth. Hardcore Holly was targeting X-Pac's neck for most of it, right?
Yeah.
Considering X-Pac had a history of freaking dang, broken neck problems or neck problems in general. Highlight was freaking Pac scoring a freaking springboard crossbody, but Holly fought back, powerbombing and choking out freaking X-Pac, but X-Pac fought back, eventually was able to nail the Bronco Buster. Then, at the end of the match, Holly decides to say, to hell with this tournament, right? Goes on the outside, grabs the chair, and nails X-Pac in the head with it, causing a DQ win for X-Pac here.
Not once. Not twice. Multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah, so and Hardcore Holly was mostly doing this to send a message, considering he was shooting with the Big Show at this time. Right?
Yes.
But, I pretty much described what this was. It really wasn't nothing to write on. It wasn't like super long or anything, but, your thoughts on this opening quarterfinal match?
It was okay. It was he kind of rebranded himself as more of a hardcore wrestler than anything.
I mean, if there was a hardcore title match on this show, Hardcore Holly would have fit in on that one, obviously. Right?
Oh.
But yeah, X-Pac advances to the semifinals via DQ, but he's in rough shape at this point. Right?
Yep.
And of course, Holly continued to attack freaking X-Pac with a steel chair until Road Dogg came out and chased Holly out of the ring. Right? And Road Dogg helped X-Pac to the back afterwards. And of course, afterwards, freaking Hardcore Holly gets freaking interviewed in the back by freaking the Red Rooster. I mean, Terry Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And reminds him, you just got yourself disqualified. Holly was like, who the hell are you? And Holly doesn't even care about the response, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and after the short interview, pissed off, Holly even said, oh, and by the way, I haven't forgotten about you, Big Show. And that's all he said, and walked away. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, making sure that making it known that his issue with Big Show is not over at this point.
Yep.
So then we go on to the next match, which was another quarterfinal match. It was Kane versus the Big Show. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, even though this was a quarterfinal match up here, the story going into this one is that Big Show's been feuding with Hardcore Holly, including almost dumping a car on Hardcore Holly's prone body out in the parking lot on the Raw prior to this.
Yeah.
So this wasn't really, a story between Kane and Big Show. It was a story between Big Show and Hardcore Holly, as we alluded to. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, both made their entrances, and yeah, none of them had the advantage for very long. It was a typical big man versus big man match, right? Of course, Big Show was overpowering Kane for most of this match, and this And it's not too often we've seen Kane on the defensive against an opponent, like, bigger than him. Right?
Yeah.
Which Big Show obviously was, but at one point, freaking Kane was able to nail the flying clothesline, but Big Show freaking, got back on offense, but Big Show accidentally wiped out the referee. And freaking, and then that's when Hardcore Holly came out with a chair. Kane put a stop to that. Chokeslammed Holly, right?
Yeah.
Bad night for Hardcore Holly, right?
Yeah.
And then freaking Kane ended up grabbing Big Show by the throat, and we had a long, boring freaking chokehold from Kane, right?
Yeah.
Which is something we really don't see him do at all. I think this was like one of the rare times he actually just used the chokehold as a wear-down maneuver, right?
Yeah.
And even the fans were starting to boo, saying boring and everything. And do you blame them? I was kind of getting bored just watching this shit, right?
Yeah.
So but Big Show broke Kane's grip, but eventually, after about 2 or 3 minutes, which in wrestling terms is a long time, right?
Yeah.
But Kane decided to grab a steel chair, nailed Big Show in the head with it anyway, and got the 3 count when the referee got up after knocking Big Show out with a chair to advance to the semifinals. Your thoughts on this one? I'm trying to keep this as brief as I can, but I remember what happened.
Mr. Ass was fucking took it to Kane though.
Yeah, in the next match and the semifinal spoilers, but we already know who wins as King of the Ring, so it's really not a spoiler. But your thoughts on this match, the Kane and Big Show match?
That was good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best match they had. They were better as a tag team years later, but I don't remember ever seeing one good Kane versus Big Show match. You know what I'm saying? Mostly because they're too big.
Matches.
Mostly because they're
Big
too
Show
huge,
and
man.
Kane. For the King of the Ring, there was the start of their rivalry, even though he was in a rivalry with Hardcore Holly, which became a 3-way fucking rivalry because Kane fucking got revenge on Hardcore Holly for hitting him with the steel chair before.
Oh yeah, and okay, I thought it was okay for what it was. It felt boring, but I didn't rate it very high. I know that, right?
Yeah.
And before we get to the next matchup here, we did see Ken Shamrock in the back fighting off the EMTs. Shamrock selling his rib injuries. Right?
Yeah, because he got his ass beat by a kendo stick by Steve Blackman.
Yeah, the lethal weapon, Steve Blackman, during the Sunday Night Heat portion, right?
Yes.
And pretty much he was in the back saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go and try to win King of the Ring anyway for a second year in a row, right? Despite the injuries, right?
Yep.
And of course, the other story that was playing around is that Shane was also supposedly injured and he needed freaking EMTs too, and the main event was in jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which we all knew was bullshit.
Yeah, and then Billy Gunn comes out for his quarterfinal match with Shamrock, right? And Shamrock,
yeah, because he kept freaking goading on Shamrock, and Shamrock being Shamrock, even though he was fucking injured as fuck. Yeah. He had internal bleeding.
Yep. Pretty much Gunn called out freaking Shamrock and said if you were smart, you'd stay in the back. or whatever. You know, taunting, Shamrock to come out and fight him in this match. Right?
Yeah.
But Shamrock eventually made his freaking entrance, and I'm gonna let you talk about this one. So
it wasn't even a fucking match. Fucking Ken Shamrock comes out, tries to hit some moves, but is freaking covering himself because of the internal injuries, and he's freaking bleeding out.
Yeah, and I remember Shamrock from the opening start almost bringing locked Billy in the ankle lock, but was selling his injuries.
Yes.
Unlike you and 2K, that's my one per video.
No, it's not.
Right? But yeah, what did we see here?
Freaking Shamrock was doing belly to back suplexes, selling his injury. Freaking Billy Gunn freaking was hitting him with some clotheslines.
Working on the ribs.
Working on the ribs. Shamrock got him into the ankle lock at one point and then released it because his guts were hurting him. Billy Gunn got up, hit the Famouser, and he got the 3 count.
No, that's not what happened. Even though that possibly could have been a possibility, it would have been believable. Yeah, from what I remember, Shamrock tried to nail a Hurricane Rana, but Gunn countered it into a powerbomb, and the referee just stopped the match completely. Because Shamrock started bleeding out of his mouth. Badly.
Yes. That's why I was just saying that he hit the fucking Famouser, because he was going to hit the Famouser regardless of what it was, because he was getting ready to do it, and then the referee stopped it right when he was getting into the motion. Because the referee saw the blood, and he's like, no, we're not going to do this. Shamrock would not have given up. We know that. Yep. But it was due to referee stoppage because of the internal injuries, and then he was rushed to the hospital, finding out that it was a lot worse than what was speculated.
Yep. So yeah, referee Teddy Long put a stop to the match, player. He goes, no, you're not good, man. If you keep refusing medical attention, you'll go one-on-one with the Undertaker. Again.
You'll be going one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Again. Right. Because we all know Taker versus Shamrock was your favorite match from the 99 Backlash.
No, it was not.
Fuck. Right?
They were literally putting a technical powerhouse versus a powerhouse, trying to turn him into a technical powerhouse and turning a technical powerhouse into a freaking powerhouse. But it just didn't work.
But yeah, your thoughts on this?
Maybe if Shamrock was still around he was still around in 2000 when Taker came back. But if they would have then yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on this Billy Gunn Shamrock quarterfinal match that ended in a referee stoppage?
It was decent.
Yeah, I felt like it was underwhelming, but if you want to see a Billy Gunn versus Shamrock match, in my opinion, you don't have the King of the Ring 99 one. You don't really need to see. They had a better match at the Royal Rumble in 99, like 6 months prior, which was more competitive than this one, obviously, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, but you gotta make note, Billy Gunn made his entrance wearing one of the Acolytes Tag Team Championship belts all night because of his storyline against them, so yeah. Yeah, then next we see Chyna and Triple H get interviewed in the back. Chyna pretty much said she's gonna be the first woman to enter King of the Ring and win it, right?
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, she would have been WWE's first Queen of the Ring, technically, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of ironic because we have that today. It's called the Queen of the Ring tournament. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, Road Dogg made his entrance for this qualifying match, quarterfinal match. It was Road Dogg versus China here. Road Dogg did his usual stick when he got into the ring that he always did back then on the microphone. Get the crowd amped up, right?
Yeah.
And of course, China made her entrance, accompanied by Triple H with the My Time theme that they shared at this point. that those two shared at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to talk about competitive shit? China could have a good match with all the men there, and this proven to be true here. I mean, it started off trading back and forth, arm ringers, headlocks, hammerlocks. You know the reversals. You know the whole deal, right?
Yeah.
And then Road Dogg, it looked like he told the story, his part of the story, because he's like, I don't feel comfortable in striking China, obviously, because it's man versus woman intergender match, right? But, but China didn't hesitate. She freaking just started walloping on Road Dogg after the hesitation, right? Proving that, yeah, I ain't afraid. I'm gonna fight you. I don't care, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, for the most part, it looked like Road Dogg was getting his ass kicked by China, and Triple H distracting on the outside didn't really help matters, right? In Road Dogg's case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were on the outside. Road Dogg got shoved into the ring post. That's another good highlight here. Of course, Road Dogg got the advantage over China later on, putting China in a sleeper hold, but after a while, Triple H put China's freaking foot on the rope when the referee was distracted, wasn't paying attention. Typical, heel manager stick. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, China eventually got the upper hand on Road Dogg, taunting Road Dogg with his own shake, rattle, and roll move, which freaking the fans booed the hell out of, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell China was having fun with this freaking, doing that and just taunting the crowd, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, when Road Dogg got the advantage, Triple H on the outside freaking decked Road Dogg with a chain when the referee didn't see that, but that only earned China a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Road Dogg recovered, nailed the shake, rattle, and roll on China. That's when Triple H tried to interfere. Shawn Michaels came out, snuck up behind Triple H, pretty much telling him, you're going in the back, right?
Well, he did interfere because he threw Road Dogg against the barricade, against the steel steps, against the ring.
And of course, when Shawn Michaels took Triple H out of the ring, from ringside, freaking China decided to be a freaking dick to Road Dogg's degenerates, or Road Dogg's outlaws, I should say. Right? But that had no effect. Because what did Road Dogg do after that move was failed?
Oh, fucking, China tried to go for a low blow, freaking hurt her hand. And what does he do? He pulls out a metal cup.
And I'm just like, really? And I bet at this you were laughing your ass off. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, freaking Road Dogg nailed the pump handle power slam, his finisher maneuver on China for the win, and to qualify to the semifinals. Your thoughts on this one? To me, it was the best.
It was entertaining.
To me, it was the best quarter King of the Ring match overall at this point, compared to the other 3 that we've seen, right? Because it told the story it needed to tell. And all I could think about is, damn, what if friggin' Road Dogg tried to hit a low blow on China? What would I call that then? But thank God that didn't happen, so I don't have to think about it. Think about what I would say, Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I see now. I'm just like, what the hell? Okay, I gotta admit, this was the best King of the Ring tournament match up to this point. So yeah, we see your boy Michael Cole interviewing The Rock about his WWE Championship match later on in the evening. So yeah, there's that. And then we go to the tag team match between the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, a rematch from the Sunday Night Heat from earlier in the night. Right? That we talked about
Yeah.
earlier. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, the Hardy Boys were accompanied by Michael Hayes. And there's nothing more awkward than seeing a man in his 40s trying to dress all hip and cool. Kind of reminds me of the one like meme or whatever guy from the one show. It's like, you know the image I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, or whatever. Yeah, I'm having brain fade about that or what about that scene, right? Or where it's from,
Yeah.
but you know the one I'm talking about. Where it showed the old guy with the freaking skateboard saying, it's like cool kids or whatever he was saying, right?
Yeah.
But, and they were taking on Edge and Christian, which at this point they were still known as the Brood, right? With Gangrel, right?
Yeah.
Both teams make their entrances out here. And I'm like, okay, and as far as I know, this was the first pay-per-view meeting between the Hardys and Edge and Christian here. So we'll just see how this one plays out. Right?
Yeah.
And the winners of this would be number one contenders for tag team championships, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, it started off with Christian and Matt Hardy being the legal men in the matchup here. Eventually, the Hardys would double team the Brood, but then later on, Jeff Hardy performed a head scissors in the corner, I believe, on freaking Edge or Christian, but Edge turned one of them into an Alabama slam. Right?
Yeah.
It's like later on, both teams were freaking DDTing and suplexing each other. It was pretty much a brawl at this point, right? Little sign of things to come with the chaos. When all four of them just started beating the heck out of each other, right?
Yep.
Of course, the Hardys did the poetry on motion, and then, or attempted to do a poetry in motion, but Edge freaking just speared Jeff Hardy out of midair. Those midair spots that Jeff Hardy took always look devastating. Of course, the most famous one that Jeff Hardy took was at WrestleMania 17. That still gets replayed over and over and over again. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then freaking Michael Hayes and Gangrel start fighting each other, the respective managers on the outside. But this match kind of came to an end with Edge in control of Jeff Hardy. Gangrel freaking just took his freaking like chasel he had, freaking or whatever, freaking like drank some blood or whatever. Went to go spit the blood in freaking Jeff Hardy's face, but Jeff Hardy moved. Edge inadvertently got nailed with it instead, which allowed freaking Jeff Hardy.
He didn't even move. He didn't the freaking shit. He just ducked down when he went to the ropes because he got hung up on it. Gangrel just freaking overshot it.
Spat blood in Edge's face by accident. Like I mentioned. And Jeff nailed the twist of fate on Edge to get the pinfall win for the Hardy Boys. Your thoughts on this one?
It was decent for a first outing for them. And later on they would kick Michael Hayes out and go for Terry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Michael Hayes freaking managed the Hardy Boys afterwards. Terry did, but The most famous person to manage the Hardy Boys was Lita about a year later. Right?
Yes.
After this, but this isn't the best Edge and Christian versus Hardy Boys tag match or match they had in general. They would have way better matches in the future, but this was the starting point, basically.
Yeah.
And of course, afterwards, Edge was all complaining to Gangrel about his mess up, but Gangrel was able to freaking like calm Edge and Christian down, right? Before leaving ringside area.
Yeah.
Next up, we see an interview in the back between your two favorite boys, Michael Cole and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
You're like, only one of those statements is true. I'm like, yeah, I know you're a big Michael Cole fan.
No,
Right.
you're the Michael Cole fan.
You're the one who always insists you want to see Michael Cole in his orange singlet again.
I know you wanted to see him in the orange singlet again, buddy.
No, that's you.
That's why you bought an El Grande Americano singlet. You're gonna paint it orange so you could play as Michael Cole for Halloween.
Hell the F no. So yeah, Cole interviews Taker about his WWE Championship defense against The Rock. And Taker just ended up mocking Cole about a stupid question. So on and so forth. Walks away, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And then we see Vince enter the arena. Pretty much he berates the rude fans there that were calling him asshole and everything else, saying, "Where's your southern hospitality?" Right? Or something like that. He basically, of course, Vince basically came out and said that Shane was injured, so the main event match was now canceled, but Shawn Michaels then came out and Shawn said that Vince can't wheel his way out of the match, considering Shawn was pretty much the commissioner at this point of the company. Right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as Shawn said, yeah, Vince can't weasel away out of the match, and then freaking Lawler lost his smile. I'm like, there's a flashback back there, right?
Yeah.
But freaking Vince was like, you know what? No. Basically, he's the owner of the company tonight, and Vince promised that the main event will still happen, and he will find a suitable replacement for Shane McMahon. Thus Lawler claimed that Vince just outsmarted Shawn Michaels. So I'm like, so we go from the main event being in jeopardy to now being canceled to now having a replacement. Okay, try to follow that because my brain hurts being wrapped around that. Right?
Yeah.
Then we go to the semi-finals. The first one being Billy Gunn versus Kane. Considering both of them won their qualifying matches earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane was kind of overpowering Billy Gunn early on after both of them made their entrances here. But freaking Billy Gunn eventually fought back, went to the outside, and Kane grabbed the steel steps, but freaking Billy Gunn dropped the steel steps back in Kane's face. And you know that mask can only protect Kane's face so much from abuse. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, back in the ring, freaking Gunn attempted to famous her, but freaking Kane freaking countered into a power slam. Kane the nails chokeslam Big Boot, but then the Big Show came out. Long story short, Big Show came out. Referee got knocked over by freaking Kane, which allowed Big Show to nail Kane in the head with a steel chair, which allowed Gunn to come and go and pin Kane to win the match. Yeah, your thoughts on this?
Like I said, steel chair had more action than wrestling.
And I'm not trying to go into detail, I'm just pointing out important spots in these short ass matches, right?
No.
So yeah, Big Show got a little taste of revenge by knocking Kane out with a steel chair, just like what Kane did to him earlier in the show, right?
Yeah.
Thus, obviously, a new rivalry being started between Kane and Big Show following this event, which those two would have another match against each other at Fully Loaded the month afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, my thoughts on this one. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It felt like average or under average. Your thoughts on it?
Like I said, it wasn't even a match really, because everyone knew that Kane was supposed to win that, but Big Show came out and freaking hit him with a steel chair, which Billy Gunn took advantage of and got the freaking roll up pin.
So yeah, Billy Gunn is now in the finals of this King of the Ring tournament, right? And Billy Gunn be facing the winner of the next match, which was Road Dogg versus X-Pac. So we're gonna have the last three King of the Ring matches will have DX members or past and present face off against each other, guaranteed, right? So yeah, before we get to the entrances, Kevin Kelly interviews X-Pac about the semifinals, and X-Pac said, and X-Pac got asked, will he have mixed feelings about facing Road Dogg? X-Pac said that was a dumb question. You always have mixed feelings when you face a friend in the ring. Basically. Then he made his way out of the ring with his entrance, and then after his entrance over, we see Road Dogg get interviewed in the back. Pretty much friggin' Road Dogg got asked the same question. And Road Dogg said X-Pac is his best friend. And he said this might be the hardest match of his career. Yeah, sure. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he makes his entrance out to the ring with the mic as usual, doing his usual stick. And then we get to the semifinals. X-Pac versus Road Dogg. And you can talk about this one, buddy. So what do we see here?
Just fucking Road Dogg being careful of fucking Xbox's injuries, and fucking Xbox going to hit some of his normal maneuvers and taking damage to his damn self. And him almost missing a freaking spin kick.
Yep. Yeah, and then eventually, after Road Dogg attempted to freaking work on X-Pac's neck, X-Pac was able to score a wheel kick. Bronco Buster, right?
Oh, he didn't hit the Bronco Buster. He fucking Road Dogg dodged the Bronco Buster and hit himself in the turnbuckle.
Yep.
When X-Pac hit himself in the turnbuckle, which Road Dogg felt bad for, so he went to go and look at him, and freaking X-Pac told him to continue, not to treat him like a pussy.
Well, either way, freaking, I believe at the end of the match, freaking Road Dogg freaking attempted the power slam, but
he tried to do the freaking pump handle
slam,
power slam, but that got reversed into a X Factor.
Yeah, and X-Pac got the 3 count, right?
Yes.
But yeah, your thoughts on this semifinal match, which we know the final is now X-Pac versus Billy Gunn.
Rondo should not have let up, even though he was his friend.
Which is ironic because one of the sole members of DX at this point, which was X-Pac, took on pretty much past and present DX members throughout this whole dang show. All right?
Yes.
Oh, that's dripping with irony. Right?
Yeah.
I thought it was all right, but I felt like it was a little underwhelming. But, you know, it's a King of the Ring freaking tournament match. I don't expect long-ass classics. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next we have the WWE Championship on the line. It was champion Undertaker defending against The Rock, right?
Yeah, in the previous backstage interview, the Undertaker says, "Oh, have you ever seen a bull get his nuts ripped off?"
I don't think I want that image in my head, honestly. Right? And but anyway, we see the recap of the Rock and Taker feud, which really wasn't much of one. Rock won a number one contenders handicap match or triple threat or handicap match against Taker and Triple H.
Yeah.
Pretty much setting this match up here, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Rock made his entrance, followed by Undertaker making his entrance as WWE Champion at this point, because Taker won it the month prior at the controversial Over the Edge event, which we already covered, right?
Yes.
And of course, after the match officially begins, what's the first thing that Taker does? He ejects the referee, taking him out. I'm like, that's total randomness right there, right?
No.
But then he tried to, and then Taker tried to attack The Rock, but The Rock nailed the rock bottom and got a visual 3 count on Taker right at the very start. But since the referee was down, it didn't matter how long freaking Rock had the pin. But can you imagine if the referee was never knocked out and the only move we saw was a rock bottom and The Rock won it 1, 2, 3 in seconds? I'd be like, what the hell kind of match was that? Right?
Yeah.
Then I'd be thinking, no wonder Taker got revenge hell years later. That was BS. Right? I'd be thinking, no. If that was the case, I'd be thinking, no wonder Taker tombstone Rock on top of a freaking limousine years later. Fuck. Right? But no, that didn't happen. Another referee arrived, but Paul Bear freaking pulled the referee out as soon as the referee counted 2, and Paul Bear took the second referee out. I'm like, okay, this is madness from the start. Right?
Yep.
And of course, this led to Taker and Rock fighting each other outside and into the crowd. Taker reversed a suplex on the floor, and they returned back to the ring, but that didn't last. But, you know, they weren't in the ring for very long. This was an Attitude Era WWE title match. So, you know, this was going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
And, of course, at one point, while still in the ring, Taker tried to perform the old school on Rock, but The Rock freaking decided to be a dick to Taker's dead man when he crotched Taker on the rope. Right?
Yep.
And then Rock spat water in Taker's face, right? And of course they fought
Well, he did it like Stone Cold Steve Austin did.
Yep. And of course they fought all around the ring, all around the crowd once again. Around the hard cam area of the crowd, I should say. Yeah, and they went to the announcer's table where freaking and Taker knocked a chair into The Rock's face. Like you said, that chair got more action than any other competitor in the night. Right?
Well, The Rock tried to hit Taker with the steel chair, but Taker got the ring bell involved. So the steel chair and ring bell had some action. Because the ring bell felt left out.
Yes.
He's like, fuck you, steel chair. It's my turn.
I mean, got everything being used. Why might as well use the freaking ring bell? That way, freaking the ring bell doesn't feel left out, like you said. Of course, once the brawl kind of settled down and they went back in the ring, Taker freaking slowed things down with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the chin lock. 5 out of 5, if you ask me. Right? I mean, who knew that freaking Taker knew the ways of the chin lock? Right? Davey Boy Smith was really proud of that one. But somehow, miraculously, The Rock escaped without a busted jaw when he was able to nail the Samoan dropping a DDT on Taker. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, again, the third referee got bumped once again. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, The Rock scored the people's elbow. Right?
Also, freaking, The Rock got shooed.
Oh, yeah, by Paul Bearer. That was the next spot I was about to talk about anyway. And you were sitting there laughing like, oh my gosh, Paul Bearer used his shoe once again.
Yeah.
So, Paul Bearer, why the hell did you smack The Rock with your shoe?
He was being a dick.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to hear, right?
My Undertaker was going to win it all, even though he did it in the end.
Goddamn, you do that Paul Bearer voice way too well. You know that?
Yeah.
But anyway, Bear decided to freaking give Taker an ether-soaked rag, which Taker was going to use on The Rock, but The Rock freaking countered it, stole the freaking rag from Taker's hands, and freaking used it on Taker instead of knock him out. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, what did we see? We see Triple H come out and attack The Rock from behind, nailing a pedigree onto The Rock, which Taker regained his freaking consciousness, went to pin The Rock, only to get a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
And the Undertaker was like, you know what, I'm just gonna end it my way. So Taker did, he scooped up The Rock, nailed a tombstone, and got the 3 count that way to retain the WWE Championship. Your thoughts on this one?
It was decent. It didn't need the ether rag, but that was to keep The Rock down for the 3 count.
I mean, I thought this match was good. It was your typical Attitude Era WWE title brawl, but that doesn't take away from it. The whole ref freaking bumps at the start was totally random. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. So yeah, I thought the match was okay. Yeah, and then JR complained about Triple H's interference, and then in the back we see Vince confronting Shawn Michaels in the back. Right? But Shawn was like, it's too late. He's my tag partner. And then Shawn was like, nope, he's banned from the ringside talking about Triple H. So I guess
he was getting Triple H out of there because he interfered in the Taker match. And Mr. McMahon came out and said, oh, that's my tag team. He's like, oh, I know. That's why.
That's why he's being taken out. So I guess Triple H was supposed to be Shane McMahon's replacement. But that didn't happen. Right?
Yes.
And of course, Vincent grabbed his cell phone and he calls up someone and goes, you need to return to the arena now. It's like, you're Shane McMahon's replacement. You need to return to the arena right now. To take care of Austin. Right? Well, and this whole segment ended with The Rock just awkwardly staring at Vince in the back. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, your boy Michael Cole interviewed Billy Gunn one more in the back about his final match, right? And he even said, you know what? I'm going to tell X-Pac I'm going to let him in my strategy anyway, early, so that way he knows what I'm going to be doing. Freaking Billy Gunn even said he's going to work on freaking Xbox injured neck and wear him down that way. Right?
Yeah.
Or he said he was going to go after Xbox scrawny neck, but you know what I mean. And Billy Gunn wrapped that little interview up saying, "Well, I got 4 words for Xbox. Kiss my royal ass."
He's like, oh, after all is said and done, I have 4 words for you. Kiss my royal ass.
And with that being said, we get to the King of the Ring finals. It was Mr. Ass Billy Gunn taking on X-Pac.
Yes. Which at this event, not many people know, but X-Pac had literally had neck fractures.
I mean, not enough to write him off TV, but he wasn't wrestling. He didn't wrestle us often leading into pay-per-views at this point. He'd still wrestle on pay-per-views, but not during the weekly shows. I believe he would just be backstage interviewing or interfering in Kane's matches or whatnot. Very minimalized, right, to keep his spot on TV. Yeah. So it was nothing that rid him out of storylines or off TV. It was just something they had to keep an eye on.
Which would end up him facing Kane, which would completely break his neck.
To where he'd have to take some time off, I believe, the following year, and if he was on TV, it wasn't in any wrestling capacity like backstage skits.
It was towards the end of '99 when he was written off.
Yeah.
And then he came back and then he was let go.
I mean, I know.
Then he went to WCW for a while, then was in the NWO there.
Which I know.
Then got kicked out of the NWO, then went back to the WWF in 2000.
Yeah. I know.
Because at this point, Triple H was saying, "Oh, I'm getting the Clique back together," and then X-Pac and Kane would take a run for the tag team titles.
This era, but anyway, yeah, but anyway, we go to Billy Gunn versus X-Pac. Friggin' both men made their entrances here, but Billy Gunn jumped X-Pac at the start, whipping him around the ring, pretty much doing anything he can to wear that injured neck down, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Pac tried to fight back with a flying clothesline, but Gunn rebounded with a bulldog, targeting the neck once again.
He didn't let off that friggin' neck. He kept targeting the neck.
He even told X-Pac he's going to work on the neck, so at least X-Pac was warned, right? That this was going to happen. Yeah, and then Billy landed the power slam and a famouser, only to get a 2 count. Of course, Billy called bullshit, arguing with the referee, right?
Yeah.
Allowing X-Pac to recover for a bit. X-Pac then nailed Billy Gunn, nailed the X Factor, but because of Pac selling his injuries, he was too slow to cover him, which got him a 2 count, right?
Well, and then X-Pac got Billy Gunn into the corner to do another Bronco Buster, and Billy Gunn dodged it, and freaking X-Pac again hits nothing but turnbuckle.
Followed by a neck breaker. And Billy Gunn
then followed up with the super famouser from the second row.
Yeah, super famouser got the 3 count. Yeah, and that's how Billy Gunn won the 1999 King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, your thoughts on this? So Billy Gunn became King Ass.
It was Billy Gunn's heel turn, so...
And I understand that Vince was trying to... It
wasn't really a heel's turn. He was just fed up with the whole fucking... Everyone saying, oh, he couldn't do it by himself. He was just Triple H's lackey. He was beneath Road Dogg, beneath X-Pac. And he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to go my own way. And he did have strong runs and then for some reason they had him get squashed by The Rock, and then he had some more strong runs as a mid card, and then then they put him back together with Road Dogg.
I mean, yeah, like I was about to allude, you pretty much just alluded that, but I was about to say Vince, I know, tried to push Billy Gunn as a single solo act, but it just didn't work in the long run.
Yeah, because for some reason Vince had him get squashed by The Rock.
Yeah, and you should have known Billy Gunn's push as a friggin' single solo star was pretty much done and over with when The Rock was mocking Billy Gunn in that friggin' famous promo saying when Rock was pretending to be Gunn, be like, it's like, Bobby, but my name's Billy. It does not matter what your name is, right?
Yes.
And all that shit. I'm like, well, there goes this bush. He's getting squashed, right? So, yeah, your thoughts on this King of the Ring final? I thought it was okay for what it was. Was Billy Gunn the right call to win the 1999 King of the Ring? Well, when it comes to his singles push at the time, maybe, but in the long run, he's not really the first winner that people think of when they think of past King of the Ring winners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but still.
So yeah, Billy Gunn went from Mr. Ass to King Ass.
Won.
Yeah, he went from Mr. Ass to King Ass. Right?
Now he went from Mr. Ass to Royal Ass.
Yeah, and right now you're being a royal pain in my ass.
I'm a royal pain in everyone's ass, so get used to
it. Yeah, so we get to the main event next. It was the handicap ladder match, but yeah, we need to talk about the backstory of this one. This all came about when we did the higher power angle.
It was me all along, Austin.
And who was revealed as a higher power? Vince McMahon himself.
Yes.
In one of the most memeable moments ever now. Which is still talked about to this day. Right? And of course, it was that same night. What people forget about was that same night after the whole "it was me, Austin" segment. Friggin' Lyndon Stephanie came out saying, "Well, they took their freaking 25% shares of the company CEO positions and pretty much gave it to somebody else, and that somebody else turned out to be Austin himself." Right?
And then Austin would turn around and because he was a competitor at the time. Yeah, he would. He would go to the freaking main office because he was technically the boss at the time too, and freaking literally say, because they're like, "Oh, what do you want?" With his famous promos that he had there, he literally they're like, "Oh, what do you want to drink? Do you want some coffee, sir?" He's like, "No, I want beer." They're like, "It's 11 o'clock. I want beer."
Yeah, and I remember him going up to the.
And then he takes up the phone. He's like, "What do you want? What?
What do you want? Who the hell is this?
What?
Right? What do you want?"
Yes.
Telling the secretary to answer calls that way. Right?
Yes.
That's still memorable. Of course, one of the most funny and memorable segments from Austin's little CO storyline was when he fucking had cow manure dumped in Vince's office.
Yes.
Everyone remembers that.
Because Vince got fed up with it, and he's like, "Oh, I challenge you." And then what does Stone Cold do? He turns around and gives it to HBK, which he was the commissioner at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the match was made. It was a ladder match with the ownership of the WWE on the line, with Austin taking on both Vince and Shane McMahon, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we cut back, and after we watched the recap video for this feud, Vince made his entrance, but he was alone. Shane McMahon wasn't with him, still selling the beating he got on Heat. And Vince was all got on the microphone. He goes, "Yep, this match will still happen, and I found Shane McMahon's replacement, the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman. And I'm just thinking, okay.
And then right when Shane McMahon and his Mean Street Posse saw it was Steve Blackman, fucking Shane McMahon's like, "Fight this! I'm going out."
Yeah,
and then what happens? HBK is right there. He's like, "No!
You're going out there, right? You're going out there, and you're gonna fight in the main event because there's nothing wrong with you, right?"
Yeah, because he's like, "Oh, you go back and get checked out," and then they found out there was nothing wrong with it. He's like, "Blackman, you go back. Shane, you go out."
Yep. And you know what? Austin should count his blessings that happened. Because if he had to fight the freaking evil Vince McMahon along with the lethal ass kicker, he wouldn't have survived this ladder match. Am I right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Shane McMahon pretty much got drug out. Blackman was like, Sean was like, "Blackman, you're coming to the back, otherwise the McMahons will be disqualified in a ladder match." Figure that one out, right?
Well, because it was for Shane and Vince versus Stone Cold, and he was given the ultimatum of either finding a partner or seeing if Shane was fine, and Shane was fine. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna call Blackman." And then when Blackman came out, Shane just said, "Fuck it, I'm going out there."
Yep. But either way, after Blackman got freaking ejected,
which would have made it a 3-on-1, and Shawn Michaels wasn't gonna have a 3-on-1, even though it should have been just a freaking 1-on-1 because Shane was supposedly injured. It should have just been a 1-on-1 at that point for the ownership, but no.
Yeah, and Austin came out, got a standing ovation from the crowd like usual back then, right? And well, that's when Vince and Shane knew they were fucked, right?
Well, everyone knew that Shane was that Vince and Shane were fucked because Stone Cold just fucking came running out. It didn't fucking matter because right when the shattered glass happened, everyone's like, "Well, they're fucked."
So yeah, to say that Austin dominated McMahon's here in the early going is an understatement. He pretty much fucked him up, right?
Dude, he used steel chair, ring belt, turnbuckle, ladders.
Right, on the McMahons, including in the brawl. This beatdown made its way to the aisleway, right?
Yes,
near the entrance area, and the entrance area is set up with a bunch of ladders on the entrance area, all stacked up, right? And freaking Shane McMahon freaking decided to escape Austin's wrath by climbing to the top of this like ladder entrance structure, which Austin followed him, struck Shane down. And then freaking, what did Austin do? He took Shane, whipped him into a ladder, took Vince, whipped him into another ladder, picked up Shane again, whipped him into a ladder.
He puts up another ladder. And what does he do? He sandwiches him again. Then he picks up the ladder that's in the other corner. What does he do? He chucks it at him.
Yes. Yeah, and then when both Shane and Vince were down in the little, like, ladder structure area, Austin picks up a chain that was hooked to one of the ladders, freaking gives it a yank, and the whole ladder structure fell down on the McMahons. Right?
Yes, but I also like how fucking, after Mr. McMahon freaking tried to climb the ladder, freaking Stone Cold looks up and he's like, after beating the shit out of Shane in the corner, stomping a mud hole in his ass and walking it dry, he freaking just looks at he's like, "Oh, you thought I forgot about you." And Vince is like,
he's like, "Ah, shit." Right?
Fuck. Stone Cold's like trying to move the ladder. He's like, "No, this is too easy. what I'm gonna do is much more painful. He's like, climbs on the other side of the ladder, freaking suplexes, no, he doesn't suplex him yet. He freaking starts pounding on Vince.
Yep.
Then suplexes him, and then what happens? Shane gets up. Shane takes advantage of the distraction on Stone Cold, and tells Vince, "Oh, lift me up. I can reach it while I'm sitting on your shoulders." What happened? Stone Cold gets up, flips off Mr. McMahon,
And punches
him, kicks him in the gut. Shane goes down.
Oh yeah, not to mention Austin didn't put Shane through the announcer table on the outside, right?
Yes.
Shortly after that. And of course, with Austin and Shane down, Vince tried to capitalize by climbing a ladder. Of course, Austin freaking knocked Vince off the ladder, right?
Yeah, that's why I said he was fucking stomping a mud hole in his ass outside the ring when walking it fucking dry. And then he just looks and sees Vince climbing up the damn ladder. He's like, "You thought I was done with you, boy."
Yep. Then the whole part where Shane was on Vince's shoulders happened. And of course, that resulted in both, afterwards, after knocking both of them down, that resulted in both freaking, Shane and Vince taking stunners, right? So
Yeah.
Austin decided, I'm going to climb the ladder and get the briefcase, but the briefcase started raising upwards.
Yes, and it's,
And even JR on commentary, like, who the hell's raising the briefcase?
Yeah. Why did it look like the briefcase is getting jerked up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down?
Up and down. That's pretty much what was going on. And even JR on commentary is like, who the hell's raising the briefcase? Of course, the ending of the match came when Vince and Austin were on top of a ladder fighting each other. Shane McMahon, groggy, beaten up, destroyed, basically, shoves the ladder over, sacrificing his father in the process to put Austin down. And then Shane McMahon just proceeded to climb the ladder, which the briefcase was now lowered back into regular position. And Shane McMahon grabbed the briefcase to win the match for the McMahons. Right? And Austin was irate after the match. And honestly, I think this was a great match. Even though the McMahons won, just the fact that Austin was creative in destroying the McMahons before they took a cheap win. Because this was a cheap win. Was creative and funny, I thought. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, the spot where Shane was on Vince's shoulders trying to reach for the briefcase, only to be thwarted by Austin, that got me laughing as well. Right? But, and that meant that the McMahons had total power in WWE once again in storyline.
Yeah.
But if you think this was all bad, it wasn't bad for Austin fans, even though they were chanting bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Because it was the next night on Raw where Austin revealed that before the match even took place, he read a contract when he was CEO of the company saying he would get a championship match the night after King of the Ring against Taker, or The Rock, whoever the WWE champion was, in which Austin would defeat The Undertaker to win the WWE championship the night after King of the Ring on Raw. Thus continuing the feud with Taker, which at that point ended in a First Blood match at Fully Loaded the following month. Right? Which, that match was also a banger of a match that we need to watch and review. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on this handicap ladder match. Where basically, yeah, the McMahons may have won the match, but Austin won the war because of how badly he beat the shit out of the McMahons here.
Yeah.
So yeah, your thoughts on it.
It was good.
Yeah, that was an alright match. I thought it was an alright match. Not the best Austin match I've seen, but it's worth your time watching back. And then the mystery of who raised the briefcase, I don't remember, got revealed at all. A lot of people said
it was Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, a lot of people,
Steve Blackman.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was the Boss Man who did it. Others say it was Blackman and the Posse who did it. Either way, Either way, Austin got screwed looking strong in defeat here. So now we go to what I call our favorite portion of the review, and that's our rating and final grade. So X-Pac defeating Hardcore Holly by disqualification in that quarterfinal match, I only gave 1 3/4 out of 5.
2.
Kane defeating Big Show in that quarterfinal match, I only gave like 2.5 out of 5.
2.5.
Billy Gunn defeating Ken Shamrock via referee stoppage in that quarterfinal match, 1 out of 5. There really wasn't much there.
I gave it a 3 because Shamrock at least put up a fight.
Yep.
Even though he was goaded into it.
Yep.
And knowing Shamrock in his temper at the time, he wasn't going to have fucking anyone call him a punk ass bitch.
Yep.
So he was going out regardless. He did not give a fuck.
Road Dogg defeating Chyna, I gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
I give that a 4 because it was actually a pretty decent match, even though Road Dogg was hesitant.
Yeah.
Chyna gave the reason why she is the fucking powerhouse of the damn team.
Yep. Next up, the Hardy Boys defeating Edge and Christian in that tag match. I gave it 3 out of 5. Not their best, but it wasn't bad.
I gave it 2.5. They had better matches.
Yeah. Billy Gunn defeating Kane in that semifinal match. I gave that one 2.5 out of 5.
I gave that a 3, even though with the fucking disqualification.
Yep. X-Pac defeating Road Dogg in that semifinal match. I gave that one 3 out of 5.
You forgot the Big Show versus Kane.
I said Big Show versus Kane. I gave that one 2 3/4 out of 5. But anyway,
Road Dogg versus X-Pac. That was. I gave it a 3.5. Again, Road Dogg should not have been hesitant.
Yep.
To freaking do it.
Undertaker defeating The Rock to retain the WWE Championship. I gave that one 4 out of 5.
4.5.
Billy Gunn defeating X-Pac in that King of the Ring final match to become the 1999 King of the Ring winner. I gave that one 3 out of 5.
2, I'm sorry.
We all have different opinions. Doesn't matter. And of course...
Well, 2.5.
Yep. And of course, the main event seeing Vince and Shane McMahon defeating Steve Austin in that handicap ladder match. I gave that one 4.5 out of 5.
5. It was a match of the night.
Yeah. Yep. And my final grade for King of the Ring 1999 was a C-. It was teetering on D+ territory for me, but the ladder match is what kind of helped it bump up to a C- in my opinion. The two matches
C to B-.
What?
C to B- for me.
The two matches I would recommend anyone going back to watch, it would be the Taker and Rock match, and of course the handicap ladder match. Other than that, you really don't need to see anything else off this show.
Well, you could see the freaking X-Pac and Billy Gunn match. It's just that Xbox was just favoring his neck most of the damn match. That's what I just didn't care for. Because that's where that also gave Billy Gunn kept targeting it. Even though he said he was going to, X-Pac just kept favoring his neck more and more during the match.
Yep. So, that's our thoughts. That's our respective thoughts and final grade for King of the Ring 1999.
See
But
why people say that it was a bad pay-per-view. I liked it, so.
I mean, it wasn't the best King of the Ring I've ever seen, but it's not the worst one. The worst King of the Ring, in my opinion, is still 1995's.
There is nothing as bad as King of the Ring 90. Well, Heroes of Wrestling, but that's a whole nother fucking shit.
So since it is kind of King of the Ring season, I know the next current WWE pay-per-view we're going to be reviewing, which is literally a week from this recording, is Night of Champions, which we'll see the King of the Ring finals, King and Queen of the Ring finals. I decided, you know what, we're just going to still stick with King of the Ring pay-per-views for review, and I got another classic one that we haven't reviewed yet. And you may hate me for this, but we're doing it anyway since we haven't reviewed this one yet. I just want to know. I just want to know if you can guess which year I'm thinking of when I ask you this question.
Oh.
Who was the stalker?
No.
Who was the stalker?
No.
Who stalked The Undertaker's wife, Sarah? Just his reaction. He already knows what I'm thinking of.
Ring 2001.
Yes, we're going to be, next week, we're going to be reviewing the 2001 King of the Ring.
God damn it.
That happened 2 years after this event.
Oh, and I'm going to give you a little hint for my next pick.
Oh, you mean the event we're going to be watching after Night of Champions?
Oh, yes. Let's just say a tragedy followed after.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But at the 2001 King of the Ring, we get to see Kurt Angle wrestle 3 times, including one match where Shane McMahon almost got his career ended.
Yes, and this was the event that crowned King Angle, which was shit.
Actually, that was 2000. 2001's King of the Ring winner was the Rated R Superstar Edge.
Yes, but he kept going by King Angle.
That, and we see the Dudley Boys defend the tag titles against Spike Dudley and Kane. That odd tag team. Right?
No, the odd tag team was freaking Spike Dudley and Taz.
Yeah. And then we have a light heavyweight title match with Jeff Hardy defending against X-Pac. To look forward to.
Remember, that one was pretty decent.
And of course, the main event for the 2001 King of the Ring event was Steve Austin defending the WWE Championship against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. Which this was Benoit's last pay-per-view appearance before taking time off from a neck injury. And of course...
And also going through rehab.
Yep. And of course, this event had the debuts of the WWE debuts of Diamond Dallas Page, who was the stalker, and Booker T, who would actually become a King of the Ring winner himself. Right?
Yes, but this was also where, if I remember correctly, or if it was another one that Sarah faced Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, that was the night after SummerSlam 01. We already talked about that one. I just think it's funny, right when I asked who was the stalker, you knew what event I was talking about.
Yes. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. You're like, oh, I'm going to ask. I'm like, no. No.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun watching that show next week to review.
Do you want another hint of what my event is going to be?
Oh, maybe we should leave it to the imagination. I can only imagine in 2 weeks what you're gonna make me review after Night of Champions. So,
Let's
yeah.
just say it has to do something with the main event.
Oof. Oh, fuck. God. Oh, Jesus Christ. A couple of things enter my head. So, anyway, that being said, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.